Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Woodward. A pleasure to be with you all today, and a very special privilege to be able to introduce to each of you Ursula Dowd. Ursula has got a wonderful history that is really going to be a wonderful privilege for us to hear from today. She spent over 20 years in the United Kingdom in senior roles within the corporate communications industry. She's founded her own communications company and had clients such as Hewlett-Packard, PeopleSoft, and Oracle. She's also had international experience as well. That's taken her to Egypt, to Cyprus, to Greece, and to Canada. And during her time overseas, her breadth and her perspective has had the chance to be changed quite considerably. And she studied complementary and alternative healing therapies, from Reiki to reflexology, counseling, and physical health. Now, all of this has brought a wonderful kind of convergence together of these skills that gives us a real special treat here today. In 2010, when she was in Canada, Ursula was introduced to some of the most advanced biofeedback technology in the world. It's certified in Europe as a medical diagnostic tool, and in real time display how the mind and the emotions affect our physical body on a daily basis. And now this is something that's really fascinating for people everywhere to see. So the time has arrived now to share this knowledge, again with the background in communication as well. This convergence of interest, I think, becomes something that's going to be just a real treat for us today. She joined Nikken just 18 months ago, but has just really taken off like a rocket and has made a significant difference and really carved out a name for herself here with us. So Ursula, a real privilege to have you with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before we get into your presentation, it's really important that we emphasize the feedback from this technology that Ursula is going to be sharing today in no way is designed to prevent, treat, or cure disease. I want to stress that. But what we do want to do, as Ursula shares the feedback that she's going to share, is, of course, just share the wonderful power of this technology and how it can interact and relate with some of the Nikken technologies. So Ursula, I'd like to pass the time over to you. Share with us a little bit about this device that you've got and some of the things that you've been learning as you've been using it.
Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it. Yes, it's been an enormous privilege for me to work with some equipment called a BioPulsar Reflexograph. It's actually manufactured in Germany, and we all know how attention to detail with the Germans. But what has really surprised me is the magnificence of the data that's become available. And even I'm kind of only really just exploring what is possible. The data I'm going to show you, this is just one small element. It's actually going to show the impact of a phone on your body and the significance of working with the mStrides as a result. So I'd like to share with you, we're talking about how body should be, and there's much talk about stress and the impact of EMS. So I'm going to give you a little snippet today, and we're going to talk about a further call that's going to take a look at more detail, more of the products in the weeks to follow. So now, just as an introduction, this is what I would see on my screen. And this is like the perfect energy, what we all would love to be. And in reality, probably we achieve it maybe 1% of the time, unfortunately. Often when you had a wonderful massage or you've been on a lovely vacation, this is what you're going to look like. And so it's a reminder.
Yeah, this is the image on the left, correct, where you've got a lot of the things.
Absolutely. So we've got two things. The two key things that we're going to look at today are the center screen, which is the graphical representation. And in each of those boxes, we've got the brain parameters, we've got the key organs, and we've also got key skeletal points. And the thing to really look at is the green line that floats through the middle. And that is basically then taken as a color representation into the image onto the left. So you can see they're all beautiful straight lines, and we've got the lovely green. Because actually colors of energy are, the lower energies are the red and orange, then you've got yellow, green, blue, and then you've got indigo, violet, pink, and white at the top end. So now in reality, and unfortunately this was me, and I kind of did the test. So I'm not going to explain all of it, but the outline is pretty standard for most people. Again, most of the lines are pretty near the center of the green. There's a one or two higher ones, one or two lower ones, but the predominance of the color is the green. So that's our key base point. Obviously, I think over the coming months, it's going to be very interesting to do a variety of different people and see whether we get the similarities. And I'm sure we will. I've done so many of these now over the last year with just people locally. So this is the key thing here. We've got this lovely green in the background. Most of the lines are near the green. So those are the two things to bear in mind. So this was before any phone, any mStrides came in contact with my body. Now what I did to maintain consistency, I took a 3-minute break point. That's all this needs, is to pick up 3 minutes. It's picking up the pulse points in the body. So I then picked up my iPhone. Now let me just go 2 seconds back. I'm sure most of you do the strength test, where you get someone to put their arm out horizontal alongside, and you push down and the arm's pretty strong. Then you get hold of someone's phone, you get them to hold it to the heart, put their arm back out, and you push on their arm, no strength. So I thought, what would show on the BioPulsar if I did that? So that's exactly what I replicated. I got hold of my iPhone, and this is what happened. Now, I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't believe the difference, because if you look at the lines, loads of them are along the bottom. There is no energy in those key areas at all. All the gray, the visualization you can see in the picture, that's no energy. And also the color around the outside is really murky orange. That's a very, very low, unhealthy energy. So what is that? And in fact, actually, if we see that in the majority of the body, when we actually identify that with depression. So another key here, like technology. Does technology go with depression? Yes, it does. So suddenly, this is literally only after a couple of minutes. So again, what could we do to test to go further forward with this? But one of the other key things is on the 1, 2, 3, 4th row down, right to the end on the right-hand side, you can see the heart.
Yeah.
So the longer the heart is in contact with that iPhone, the worse it became. So we have to be really conscious about technology in our bodies. So there's a key statement. We need to review what we're doing. So I then went, okay, if we then, with the strength test, we get someone to stand on the mStrides, put their arm back out, they can hold the phone, and most of their strength is restored. They can hold their arm.
Yeah. Let me just show the screen here. Sorry, if you just go back.
Okay.
So you just pointed out, I'm just going to circle it here so people can see. Here is where the heart is.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so you can see there's the nice line, but you can see the drop in energy coming across here quite significantly.
Yep.
As you were saying, Ursula. So just pointing it out. So
no, that's perfect. Thank you. So, and so then it was like, well, immediately then go on to the mStrides, and look what happens.
Wow.
3 minutes later.
Yeah.
All the energy is stabilizing. It's not brilliant, but it's stabilized. We've got energy throughout the body. We've got a couple of things that are not picking up still.
Yeah.
The heart is right back up in force.
Yeah.
It's pointing like,
yeah, right there. It's gone right up to the
against the iPhone now. So it's getting energized. So we've got some significant things going on here. So, but the key here was to share this, to show a visual representation of a muscle test that we do on a frequent basis. And when we do that muscle test, it certainly shocks everyone at the result. But what this is actually showing is visually what is happening inside your body when you first have a phone or a tablet, whatever, in contact with your body, but also the protection that potentially the Nikken products are going to give you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. So what I'd like to do over the next few weeks, and we're going to talk about, I'm going to hand over to Ben in just a second, is to talk about, we've done some other tests using the sleep system with the Kenko seat, show visually what is happening when the body comes into contact with Nikken products.
Yeah, Ursula, this is just fantastic. Wonderful to show the literal impact that both modern technology can have on our bodies, the way that it sapped the energy so quickly, really quite frightening, but then also the wonderful power of Nikken technology, on the other hand, how it does the total opposite. And this has been a tech day, ladies and gentlemen, just to show you the impact from one product, our insoles. So as Ursula said, on the 20th of August, which is a Saturday, at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m. Eastern time, or 4 p.m. UK time, we're going to be hosting another Zoom call like this one. This is a recording, of course, for you to watch, but we're going to be hosting a live Zoom call with Ursula being a special guest. She's going to take us through some more of these tests and the results that she's found. And we'll also have an opportunity for you to be able to ask questions of Ursula. And critically, the big thing that I think is important here is when you don't own your own BioPulsar Reflexograph, how do you use this to build your business? That's the critical point, because Ursula does not take this on the road with her, but she does still get to benefit from the technology in assisting her along the way. So how can you benefit when you don't have one of these machines yourself? You'll get that answer when you join us on the call on August the 20th. So please look out for the invitation. Please share this. Make the word known. We want to make sure that you're a part of it. Very exciting information. Ursula, thank you so much for sharing, for your experience, your insights. This is just a thrill to be able to see the difference Nikken technology can make to our health. Thank you very much. And everyone will speak to you very soon.